What is up guys, Joe here, welcome back to my channel, and today we are back with T-Mobile Bianchi, and we have a very exciting one today because if we take a look to the top right, we're heading into August, which means transfer season is now upon us. So we will get an idea which division we'll be riding in next year, as well, of course, which riders we'll be bringing in to the team. Before that though, we will be heading to the Vuelta at Burgos in Spain for a 5-day stage race. We have some flatter ones for the sprinters, then we have the Pico Blanco, a big climb right there, 8 kilometers, average of 9%, another one for the sprinters, and then we have a final climb to the finish where the GC will be won. And so the first one is a hilly stage according to this kind of profile icon, but to me this is for the pure sprinters. Someone like John Degenkolb could definitely get over these climbs and compete in the finish. We'll see how steep the final is, so I think that could be the issue right there. But looking at our squad for the race, we are led by Giovanni Aliotti, Georg Zimmermann, Simon Pello, Davide Barbato are here too. And then in the sprint train, we are led by none other than Rick Zabel. And this will be our first look at him in the German champions jersey. He is helped by Stefan Bisker and Giga Horvat. So we're not going to be joining the breakaway today, but we do want to take a look at who is at this race. So looking at the start list, instantly we have the likes of Michael Landa, De Moulin is here too. We have Dylan Toons, Marc Soler, so some very good opposition in the GC. Whilst looking at some other riders, we have Bruno Amorai, a great rider. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of his. But anyhow, it's going to be difficult to win this race, but we can maybe try and go for some stages and even a place on the podium overall. So we had just 2 riders join today's breakaway. We had Seiss and Plankart, but they're going to be caught already. 25k still to go to that finish. And so we are now approaching this climb right here, and we do have the KOM jersey available, and I may try and take it with none other than Simon Pello. So let's come right to the front of this group. We have 3k to go to that climb. And by the way, I haven't shown you Zabel's jersey yet, but there it is. We can see it. I'll take a closer look in a moment as we come into the finish. But now 1k to go. Let's try and go to 99, attack off the front with Pello over this little incline. I think this is the finish as well. We'll see in a moment as we have 11k to go in the stage, but Pello is going to take those KOM points pretty comfortably, and he should be in that jersey, I think, for the next stage. But anyhow, as it's time to focus on the finish, let's take a look at Rick Zabel in his German jersey, looking brilliant, I must say. I really am a big fan of that. Let's try and get his first start in the jersey finished off with a stage win. And so Giga Horvat puts our guys right to the front right here. Zimmermann can sit up. He's not going to get to the train in time. We can use our gels as Horvat can probably try and go to 92, but I am very wary of that steep finish. So let's try and go 95. We want this to be an explosive finish really, which will suit Zabel a lot more. Vackerman could be a big rival today though. Let's rest up with Giga. He is done. Barbato can maybe go to 99. We only have 1.5k to go. Bissiger can now sprint, and Zabel can try and sprint as well now into the finish. Zabel and Bissiger are both going for the line. Lots of corners as we noted here. Who's going to take it? Can one of our guys guess it? It's going to be close. Pasqualon versus Rick Zabel, and Pasqualon just gets it ahead of the German. The climb was probably a little too much for him in that finish. On to stage 2 then, and I think a chance that suits Zabel a lot more today with less climbs in the final. Really, it could be Zabel versus Big John Degenkolb in this one. Underway we go then, and Simon Pello on a poor day, but we are in that KOM jersey, so let's try and get up the roads and try and defend it. However, it seems they won't let Pello get up the roads, so instead we're going to tempo to the foot of this climb if they're not going to let us attack, and then Pello can try and take the points that way. So Luis Angel Massé attacks up the road, now riding for Burgos, and Zimmermann has done a fantastic job to put Pello in a position where we can at least try and take some points at this climb, but he's not doing too good for energy as you see, so we may have to settle for seconds behind Mate at this stage. Great ride by Zimmermann, and we're now coming into the final 1.5k. He can now go 299. I think Pello can try and come round right here. We'll try and attack away with Pello. Just 1k to go. We're not going to catch Mate, so it will be second place, I think, for Simon Pello. We'll try and take them as well with Zimmerman. Why not? And I think we can probably sit up now. We don't really need to be in the breakaway today. And by the way, one rider at this race is Fabian Leinhardt, who of course did manage to beat us in the Swiss National Championships, as we're reminded by his jersey right here. But we may as well try and sneak some points at this intermediate sprint with Zabel. I've gone way too early perhaps on this downhill. Can we try and get second? And we're going to get third place. But we'll see if we can try and keep this jersey. Obviously, we're in second at the moment. Would be nice to have it properly. So this time, it's Big John in a good position. We'll take his wheel with Rick Zabel right here. 1.5k to go. We're going uphill, so it could be difficult for Rick actually. Following Big John, he's not sprinting. Let's go into the final kilometre again. Maybe a little early, and we may be punished for that right here as we cross the line. But no, we do hold on, I think, for second place, so a few more points. Okay, then we now have 7k to go in this one. We go uphill a little bit right here, and actually Giga Horvat can now try and take over. He is on a +5 days, so he can hopefully put our guys in a perfect position right at the front of this group. We are doing a switchback in a moment, I believe, back on ourselves, and then the finish is very downhill, so very difficult to gauge where to sprint with our guys in finishes like this. But Giga, what a job right there. We now have 3k to go. Barbato up to 99 on the front. When do I sprint? Not quite sure. Let's try and go right now with Stefan Bissegger over this little climb. 1.5k to go. Zabel in the wheels. Now going for the line. Zabel, can we come through? We're getting blocked off a little bit there, and we're only going to be third place. Little disappointing, has to be said. We weren't quite able to use our kind of momentum there as Degenkolb takes the win. We have Campos in second place. Good result for him. And Zabel, 2 podiums, but no win. So I haven't seen this morale at this point in the game, but Simon Pello saying the Vuelta at Burgos is a bit of a lousy race, which is quite interesting to me. I haven't seen that, but most of our guys, anyhow, are pretty happy. The next one then is the first mountaintop finish where Mikael Landa surely will be the out-and-out favourite today. Hopefully Aliotti can deliver. If not, perhaps someone like Davide Barbato or even Simon Pello or Georg Zimmerman. So it's a shame because Pello not on a good day again, and he's never going to win the KOM jersey with days like this. But I would quite like to stack the breakaway with our riders, so I'm going to try and get quite a few guys to the front. And there we go, Horvat, Bissegger and Barbato all in the breakaway for us. We have some decent riders here, notably Ahmad de Gent. We have Tosh van der Sander, Aular trying to get up the road too, so some good riders trying to get in today's breakaway. So these 13 riders have now joined together and already 4 minutes on the chasing pack. And we are now coming to the first of the KOM climbs today. We may as well try and challenge for this with Barbato, I believe. So let's try and get to the front on Giga's wheel, try and come around right now into the finish right here. Can we catch the Ghent? I don't think so. Barbato will be second, will he? Or just behind Tosh van der Sand, so third place right there. So again, then we may as well try and challenge with Davide Barbato. Horvat can just try and get on his wheel. Barbato try and attack these guys into the finish. We're not going to be able to follow with Horvat, but Barbato does take the points on that occasion. So again, Barbato just following Ziegler right here, but I think we have the energy to try and attack right now and try and take all of these points, and we could well be in a decent position here to try and take this jersey at the end of the stage. You can see we now go into the lead of that competition. So Horvat is now going to drop away from the breakaway on this climb, but he has done a brilliant job today yet again on some great form at this race, seemingly is Giga. And we have a really high tempo behind in the peloton because there is a bit of panic that I think this breakaway could challenge for the stage. But now we come to the front here. Bissegger can attack, so can Barbato. I think Bissegger can just try and get on his wheel so he can try and get second, whilst Barbato can try and take all of these points. I think Biscuit in the end gets third, but still Barbato building a very, very nice lead. And we have just 57 riders left now in the peloton, and riders are just getting dropped on this flat section. This has been such a difficult stage already, and we still have the Blanco coming up next, so this is going to be a very, very fun finish. Bissiger then is now done up the roads in the breakaway. Great rise by him today. 1k to go to the top of this KOM sprint as Zabel does fall. That is a shame. Hopefully he can continue. Let's get in the wheel of Arme de Ghent with Barbato. Try and come around into the final few hundred meters right here. Can we get him on the line? It's going to be close. Yes, we can. Barbato is on exceptional form today, seemingly, and we now have 35 riders left in the main group. So we've had a bit of a nightmare because over the top of that climb, Aliotti was dropped in the downhill. We've just had a fall two where Serrano, Dina, and a few others have fallen. Barbato isn't going to win the stage. At least I think we're going to try and sit up because we need some help back in the main group because Aliotti needs to try and get back in. We have 15 riders in the main peloton here, and we need to try and work for Gio Aliotti in the GC. So sadly, Barbato may have to give up his own chances as these three riders now go up the roads. And that was just crazy, crazy pace over that climb. Can't believe we've had such a hard day already, and finally, there you go. Aliotti is now back in the main group. I think those guys just up the roads aren't favourites. So here we go. 8k to go, just coming into the final climb. This is going to be a fun finish. We've already had a really difficult day and it's about to get even harder. So straight away on the foot of this climb, we have attacks. Landa, Toons, Soler and Demulan. You can see Barbato is trying to sit up and wait for Aliotti, and he's actually going to help us there because he blocks those guys off just a little bit. But here we go. He can now try and protect Gio Aliotti. Great job putting Barbato up the roads in today's breakaway. We have 6k to go right now, and look, as soon as we hit the foot of this climb, so many riders are just done for the day. We are here with Demulan. Let's drop this 275 as Soler, Landa have been dropped by Dylan Toons, and the breakaway aren't going to win the stage anyhow, so probably a good decision to drop back Barbato as we have the likes of De Wolf, Vliegen 2 getting drops. So we're on crazy percentages right now as Dylan Toons looking absolutely fantastic. Flores trying to attack away as Soler and Landa look pretty done actually, whilst Aliotti still looking good. We have 12 riders left as De Ghent, Mamatov as well, the new gen is getting dropped. Johnny Brandao too, as Barbato is now done for the day. Aliotti can try and come around, and you know what? He is going to try and make a move up the road right here. Aliotti looking great. We're catching Toons as well, and Aliotti can try and go straight past the Belgian man. Aliotti looking absolutely brilliant today, but he is now looking very low on energy. We have 10 riders at the front. Landa has been dropped. Maurice, Soler, Demulan has been dropped as well. We're here with Dylan Toons. Let's try and grab his wheel, shall we? It's Aliotti versus Toons into the final here. What a ride by Gio Aliotti. Let's zoom in just a little bit, and I think we can try and come around now at 90 with Aliotti up to maybe 95. Let's try and get him into this finish. Have we gone early? I hope not. It doesn't seem so, and Gio Aliotti is going to win the first mountaintop finish here at the Vuelta at Burgos. What a ride by the Italian, and we go into the lead of the race. Toons is second, Demulan third, and a disappointing day for Mikel Landa. What a performance by this man right here. Gio Aliotti is turning into one of the best climbers, or best young climbers in the world, and when he beats the likes of Demulan, Landa, Toons, he is really one of the better climbers in the world. What a performance. We go into the lead of the race. We just need to try and defend this lead right now, as we're looking pretty good in numerous other competitions as well. On to stage 4 then, the penultimate stage of the race, and one final chance for Rick Zabel. So a few guys have fallen from behind early on, including Aular, Mamatov too, so some decent riders have gone down right there, but you can see Zabel, a -2 day. It's just not ideal at all. Here we come then into the finish. You can see Aliotti in the purple leader's jersey looking brilliant. It must be said The last of the breakaway are about to be caught, and Johan Jacobs, a rider I'm definitely interested in looking at signing next year for sure from Movistar. However, Georg Zimmermann doing a decent job right here. I think we can maybe take the wheel. No, in fact, let's try and set our own tempo here as Zimmermann is done for the day. Bissiger and Horvath's gels, and Bissiger has a good shout at actually leading us today. But anyhow, we're going to try and focus on Rick Zabel. We have a false flat to the line, making things a lot more difficult to judge. So Horvath trying to stay on the front for as long as possible. Now we have Barbato, Bissiger and Zabel in a pretty good position, it must be said. 1.5k to go. We're now going to go with Stefan Bissiger trying to hold on. Now we go with Rick Zabel to the finish. Can we take it? Rick Zabel, and he gets his first win in the German national jersey. Finally, Rick Zabel wins at the Vuelta at Burgos. Great race so far then. We've had 2 top 3s with Zabel and then 2 stage wins with Zabel and Aliotti. We hold the leads of the race going into the decider. On to the finale then, and we have a difficult climb today, but hopefully Gio Aliotti can hold on ahead of the likes of Toons, Landa and Dumoulin today on the Lagunas de Niella. So we'll have to try and join the breakaway again, I think, with Barbato to try and secure this mountain jersey. And what a shame that Aliotti is on a -1 day here. So we've had quite a few attacks, but I don't think anyone is going to be allowed off the front. Although, as I say that, we have a couple riders, Vliegen and Seiss, going off the front. We have to Ghent up the road again, Van der Sande, so a pretty similar group joining Barbato up the roads. So 2k to go to the top of this climb. Really, I'm marking Armand de Ghent, who is our main rival currently in this competition. He is in 2nd place right now, but we are able to come right to the front here with Barbato. It's a very quick tempo. Here they go. We go a little late with Barbato. Can we take it on the inside ahead of Dino? Yes, we can. That acceleration for Barbato really proving to be very beneficial, looking very, very confident at this stage. Here we go then, 1.5k to go. De Ghent is trying to come round. I'll get in his wheel if I can with Barbato, but we're quite late to do that. Can we come round in the slipstream? Yes, we can. Barbato is going to be beaten by a few others though, so we get just 2 points. But we do have a 20-point lead. There are 20 points available on that final climb, so if we get 3rd place or better on that final or penultimate KOM sprint, we should secure the jersey. Here we go then, early attacks for this penultimate KOM sprint. Let's try and get in the wheels here of Arme de Ghent. Again, I'm very slow to do that, but 1.5k to go. We are struggling a little bit for energy. De Ghent is our main rival though. If we can come around him, which we can do right here, let's push it maybe to 85. 700 meters left. De Ghent isn't going to take any of these points. We're not going to take it. I think that will go to Dina right there. Or can we take it across the line? I think we did. And Barbato wins the KOM jersey. And okay, I've just seen this move. Marc Soler attacks for Movistar, and he is attacking aggressively. He has a 50-second lead, and I guess it is up to us to try and bring that in as the race leaders. But it's Vini Zabu on the front doing that work for now. I was so focused on the front of the race with Barbato, I completely missed that as Soler attacks again, trying to join Dina up the road. He doesn't have a big lead though, to be fair. And so Soler is now caught and it all regroups. We have no breakaway left with 11k to go. Aliotti's time has now come on this difficult -1 day to try and win this race, as we have another attack on the front. It's Marc Soler again. Dumoulin attacks as well. You can see I'm tempoing on the front with Simon Pello if we put him to the top of this right here. Aliotti is trying to keep a steady tempo, particularly on this flatter section, as I think it's Torsten Train working for Uno X with these guys trying to bury themselves right here, as Juan Pedro Lopez now coming to the front as well. We have 8k to go, and Dumoulin and Soler are now caught. That is perfect for us because, of course, they've spent so much energy just trying to get away right here. Pello comes back to the front. We'll set a steady tempo here and try and sit in for now. But now Marisa on the attack. Can Aliotti try and get to the front of this group? That is proving pretty troublesome right now. if we go to 80, maybe that will help Flores trying to get away to Wolf. We have so many riders. There is Dylan Toons, the man we need to try and mark as we're getting blocked a little bit. But again, it all comes back in together. There you go then, Dylan Toons attacks again with 5k to go. We're getting blocked in absolutely horrendously right there. We need to go right to the front, and Bissiger can try and protect Aliotti right now. I think Zimmerman can sit up. Bissiger, try and help us out, man, because Dylan Toons has attacked away with 3k to go. He's trying to win this race. We have 29 riders left. That is all now at the front. 3k to go for Aliotti. We need to be so careful with our energy. Sprengers seems done. Dylan Toons comes past him and he has about 35 seconds right here as Bissiger is now done. Let's try and put in the move. Aliotti trying to put in a little attack away. Just 4 riders in this group. Fancelli, Landa dropped again by Aliotti. We have Dumoulin on our wheel and we're going to catch Dylan Toons. That is perfect for Aliotti. Let's jump into the Belgian's wheel. We just need to follow him to the line. 5 riders at the front of the race. Don't really care about the stage. We just need to sit on Toons' wheel and hope he can't open up a big enough gap. He has 19 seconds to gain on us right here. We just need to sit in his wheel. In fact, we'll come round now into the final 800 meters with Aliotti. Go to 85. Dumoulin has been dropped. Toons sprints for the line. A big kick by Dylan Toons. He's going to take the stage win, is he? Can Aliotti come back across the line? Toons celebrates and Aliotti takes his second stage win of the race and wins the GC at the Vuelta at Burgos. You love to see it. Aliotti beats Toons again in the finish. What a race for the young climber, proving to be a real talent for the team. He wins overall ahead of Toons with Dumoulin in 3rd. Landa 4th as well. Just what a race by Aliotti. Such a good performance. Zabel also wins the sprint jersey, whilst Barbato takes the KOM jersey. Aliotti in the young riders, and we get the clean sweep with the team classification. And so, first things, let's take a look at the riders that were up for renewal, and they were the riders that are currently on screen. And we've re-signed some of these guys for now, while some of them are yet to be re-signed at this stage. So let's go right here to the contract page, and you can see we've re-signed Hugo Horvat, of course. Burkhardt is retiring. Schoenberger is yet to be re-signed. Same with Wildauer and Antonio Taburi. But Pello, Schmid and Giovanni Aliotti all have been re-signed. So we have 4 riders renewing, whilst 3 are yet to re-sign. And this has been a very difficult decision for sure. The likes of Gio Aliotti, of course, riding so well at the moment, as we just saw at the Vuelta at Burgos. But for the likes of Antonio Taburi, this man is so super talented. And like I said, for now, he hasn't had his contract renewed. And so I think the best thing to do at this stage is to take a look at our current signings ahead of 2022. And then we can discuss the reasons behind this and what we hopefully can do going into the coming weeks. So here we go. On screen, you can see that we have made 5 signings. You can see the riders from our squad that have been renewed, as well as the riders with longer contracts currently on your screen. But 5 new signings. I've covered them up for now. Let's unveil them one by one and take a look at who we have signed. So starting off, let's go for the big one. We have signed a 76 rated rider from Germany as an absolute leader. It's cost us a heck of a lot of money, 55,000 euros. And ladies and gentlemen, you guys have asked for him. I've suggested him as well. He's going to be our Grand Tour leader of the future. That is right. Leonard Kemner is signing for T-Mobile Bianchi. I am so happy with this signing. He was our #1 target coming into the transfer window. 79 mountain as well as great hills, great flat for a GC rider. He can TT. He is so well rounded at the age of 24, and I just cannot wait to see him in a T-Mobile jersey. I'm so happy we have him in the team. And also looking at his form over the seasons, he was in the top 5 at the Tour de France this year. He won a stage as well, proving just how good a talent we have signed. 24 years old, and hopefully Kemna can be our GC leader for years to come. Moving on then, we have signed another 75 rated Italian, like Moscon, clearly a very good rider. And we had a few options here. We had Andrea Baggioli and Giulio Ciccone, and I will tell you, this rider is one of those guys. Ciccone was 11 points, whereas Baggioli was 16 points. And in the end, signing until 2024, €32,000 per month. Giulio Ciccone is coming to T-Mobile Bianchi. He's still 26 years old, and we know all about this man. Ridden for Trek Segafredo for a little while now, and he is a pure climber, a real talent. He's pretty punchy as well, has some good acceleration, good secondaries too, so this man is a real talent we are bringing to the team. Perhaps not a Grand Tour contending talent. Hopefully that is what we have in Lenny Kemna. However, Ciccone has won multiple mountain jerseys at the Giro, of course. He's very strong on Italian roads especially. He hasn't quite had the strongest results in game to this point. I think he was top 10 at the Tour de Suisse and a few top 20s at the Giro. So Ciccone hasn't quite had the best couple of years at Trek, and hopefully we can give him a massive boost as he signs for T-Mobile Bianchi. Okay, so next up you can see we have a Kazakh rider, and instantly you'll see he's 72 overall, so that pretty much rules out Alexei Lutsenko, and it's a rider I've mentioned again in the previous episode, so if you've been listening carefully you will have a good idea who this is. And we have gone for 23-year-old Vadim Pronsky from Astana. He is a real talent in my opinion, some good climbing attributes, and most importantly he can sprint as well. So this man really is the Kazakh Higita if you ask me, because he can climb very well whereas he can sprint too. So if this man can continue to develop at 23 years old, he could be a really important rider for us moving forwards. And really, I wanted a Kazakh in the team at some stage, and that stems from Alexander Vinokurov riding for T-Mobile back in their heyday. So I wanted a Kazakh in the team, and hopefully Pronsky can fill the shoes that Vinokurov left off. Next up then, we're heading to a 71 overall German rider. We've given him €5,000 per month and an absolute leader role as well, which to me suggests that we think a lot of this rider. And I can reveal, you guys have been asking me to sign this man, and I had to make a decision in the transfer window. It was between Antonio Tabure and this man right here, and the man, of course, is Marco Brenner. Still, Brenner is 18 years old right now, and look at his attributes. He can climb very well. He can TT pretty well too for a man of his age. He is just brilliant overall for an 18-year-old, and who knows what this man could become. For all we know, he could be a multi-Grand Tour winner in the future, and I just couldn't pass up the chance to bring in another German. We've really lacked in German talents, Barrick Zabel, throughout this career so far. Of course, we've had the likes of Zimmermann, Rutsch and Burkhardt as well, but they've been more peripheral riders, and we've really become a quite Italian focused team and quite Italian heavy, and I wanted to change that in this transfer window, bringing in the likes of Kemna, and now Marco Brenner hopefully can definitely do that for us. And like I said, Taburi could be a big loss if we're unable to keep him in the team next season, but Brenner hopefully can fill those shoes that he has left and more. So then we head to the final rider I have signed to this stage, and it is an Austrian, and I do believe he could be the only Austrian in the team next season, and we sign him from Bora Hansgrohe, and the man is Patrick Gamper. That is right, I have chosen Patrick Gamper over re-signing Marcus Wildauer at this stage, and again, it was a really difficult decision. I think Gamper cost us fewer dossier points. It's a pretty cheap deal, and at 24 years old, Gamper is pretty strong in the time trials. He's a good lead-out rider as well, good on the flats, good on the hills, and hopefully this man, if nothing else, can turn into a super strong domestique and lead-out man for the team. That's the thinking behind this signing, and hopefully Gamper can really grow into that role. There we have it then, guys. You can see the full team ahead of next season at this stage, and it's really difficult because we have 18 riders in the squad, and I don't think we're going to be in World Tour with an 18-man squad, so I may need to try and sign some kind of peripheral riders again, some domestiques, if you will, if we want a chance at being in World Tour. But I think with the likes of Kemna, Ciccone, Moscon, as well as, of course, Rick Zabel, we do have a good shout at being in World Tour next season. And that really, for me, is the big goal. I want to push on next year and make it back as a World Tour team. And with less than 20 riders, that is going to be super difficult. So we'll see what the authorities say about that, and if we're going to be able to indeed push on to World Tour. I mean, I can show you the team index right here. We're currently 15th, but many of these teams haven't made any signings yet, and some of them have about 10 riders. So not really worth taking this into account, I don't think. If it's true, that would be great. I'd love to be a World Tour team. Like I say, that is the big goal for me. And so right now I've put on screen a search which shows pretty much all the riders eligible for us next season. All of these guys are free in 2022. I've put under the age of 32, that is fine. And then Swiss, Austrian, German and Italian riders. So you can pretty much count out this top screen right here. We don't have anywhere near enough money to sign any of these guys, but maybe the likes of Yannick Steimler could be good, Affini too, and anyone really that you can see on screen right here. Battistella I would quite like, again, if it's possible. Not quite sure at this stage. Dionysi, but maybe we're thinking too high here and we need to go down to riders around this region. So yeah, guys, let me know if there's anyone in particular you'd like me to sign. I can see Antonio Nibali right here, going down into the 60s. Again, we may need to sign some riders around this level just so we can really build up our rider counts and hopefully push on into World Tour. Another option we have are the Gamper twins, who are the twin brothers of Patrick Gamper, unless I'm mistaken. These guys aren't quite the same level as their elder brother just yet, but still 21. Again, could be an option just to build up our rider counts. Other riders we could perhaps consider as well are really those guys in our development team. Could it be realistic if we say we need some riders to make it into World Tour? Let's take some guys from our development team, and really the only rider I would consider normally is Hannes Decker right here, who is a pretty good Barazuran sprinter. The other guys don't really seem up to it to me. It could be a realistic option to do it that way. Let me know what you think. It's worth noting though, I don't have any dossier points left and I've used all the budget right now. So I would have to alter this in the editor if we want to make any more signings. But really, I think for the progression of the series as a whole, it would be great to make it to World Tour next year. And I think with this current team, our 3 leaders or 4 leaders, we really deserve to be a World Tour team. So not quite sure what to do here, guys. Let me know if I should add a few more dossier points and we should sign some lower rated riders. But yeah, guys, I want to be completely transparent with you how this series is going. To this point, it's been completely a natural career. I haven't really edited anything that could help me in any way. But if we do want to make it to World Tour, like I say, we could set some rules. Just try and make it realistic. Team Mobile Bianchi are a team which have plenty of money behind them in real life. The game hasn't quite given me that same opportunity to grow in a financial sense. So perhaps it could be realistic for us just to sign a few extra riders at a cheap cost, perhaps only riders under 70 rating, for example, that will allow us to get enough riders to make it into a World Tour team. Anyhow, guys, really hope you enjoyed today's episode. You can see the races we have coming up next. And to be honest, I may well skip to Hamburg, London, and then go on to the Deutschland Tour, because that, of course, is a big sponsor objective for us being a German-based team. We could then go to the Big Bang Tour, which is a very fun, of course, World Tour race. We haven't had many of them. And then we're really pushing on to the final races, the World Championships, and then a few final races in Italy before rounding out Season 2. And by the way, we have had the Tour de France since I last saw you, and Primoz Roglic did come out on top just ahead of Bauke Mollema. What a rise by Mollema, now in his mid-30s. Mikel Landa was also on the podium, and we had Lennart Kemner top 5, Hershey top 10 as well, Thomas de Gent as well, 4 minutes down. What is going on there? And looking at the current standings in Super Prestige, we stand in the top 5 as a Conti Pro team, and if that doesn't say we deserve a place in the World Tour next year, I don't know what is. We're there with Jumbo Visma, Ineos, De Koning Quickstep, and ahead of Trek Segafredo. What a season we have had as a team, and individually, Gianni Moscon and Rick Zabel really have led the way. However, guys, as always, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. Drop a like if you enjoyed, drop a sub to the channel if you are new. I will see you guys in the next one.